Here we go, folks. WWE Hell in a Cell 2014. The full review, finally. Man, if you missed it, I done put up 3 other reviews about Hell in a Cell already on this channel. Go check them out. They are a must listen. But here I'll give an overview of the entire pay-per-view. Not going to harper too much on everything. Just try to run through it as quickly as I can. I didn't see the pre-show. Well, no. I did see Mark Henry beat the piss out of Bo Dallas. That was pretty funny. But, well, not Bo Dallas, but just Mark Henry in his girth. All right, so we start off the pay-per-view with Ziggler and Cesaro. Best 2 out of 3 falls. And there's one glaring thing that people are going to notice with this match, and it is that it didn't go all 3 falls. Now, let me be the first to say that does not diminish Cesaro in any way whatsoever. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I want my point to be heard vividly. You know, just typing it out on Twitter, it's not going to make, it's not going to make much sense. But here's what I want you guys to realize. For those of you who don't agree with the finish or how many falls actually happened. Here's one thing you guys have to be real with yourself about. One, this is only the first thing. 1, you claim that that WWE is too predictable. You're tired of everything being so predictable, right? So, when they give you something that's not predictable, like a best 2 out of 3 falls match only going 2 falls, how can you be upset with that? You predicted that it was going to be 3. They gave you 2. So, here's why I say that that's unpredictable in the good way. Ziggler gets the first pin. Now, usually what happens in these best 2 out of 3 matches is the other guy's going to get the other fall real quick right behind him, right? Well, that didn't happen. So the entire time you're watching this match and Cesaro's beating the piss out of Ziggler, and you're like, okay, it's only a matter of time before Cesaro gets the pin and we get this thing 1-1. And the whole match, you're just waiting for that moment, waiting for that moment, waiting for that moment. And it's starting to put you on the edge of your seat. And then this entire time, you got Ziggler kicking out like a madman, which is building it even more, building you up. Like, okay, I know the Cesaro's going to get this pin now. Ziggler, just lay down for a second, let this man get the pin. Essentially what it's doing is it's getting you behind Cesaro subconsciously. You don't even know it, but you're getting behind Cesaro because you think that he's going to get this pin, but he's not. Essentially what it's doing, I think that what they were doing in this match was working a babyface role for Cesaro. 1, that arm. That was a work. What they were doing was trying to build sympathy for Cesaro. Even though he's working as a heel, you can see that they're babying him up a little bit. And that's one way right there, getting you to have a little sympathy for that arm. Next, they're building it so you think that he's going to get this pin. They know you like Cesaro. So they're building it, making you think that he's going to get this pin. Oh, he's going to get this pin. He's going to get this pin. I'm getting behind him. Getting behind him. And it's getting you engulfed in it the entire time. Now you're focused on the match because you know that he's going to get this pin, but Ziggler won't let it happen. But you're invested because you're waiting for that moment to happen that you are predicting so that they could go to the 3rd fall, but it just doesn't happen. To me, that's not a bad thing. That's taking the predictability out of it and putting you on the edge of your seat. Ziggler ends up getting the second fall. But Cesaro beat the piss out of him. Cesaro was crazy strong in this match, and he was trying to work the match with 1 arm, just showing off his strength. Another thing that tells you that they're babying him up, they're even letting him do the swing again, even though he got about 7 or 8 reputations on it, or revelations, or whatever it's called. They're babying this guy up. So personally, I think that this match accomplished exactly what they wanted to, in that start babying up Cesaro, while not needing to turn Ziggler. And also, they had an awesome match. If you think that this match was awesome, if you think this was a great match, I personally think it was a great match. Very well worked. If you think it was a great match, why does it need to go 3 falls if it accomplishes its goal? And its goal is being a great match. Doesn't need a 3rd fall. It did what it was supposed to do. Next, we got the Bella Twins. I'm usually hard on these girls. Personally, I think they had a great match tonight. I mean, Bray telegraphs everything she does. It's freaking annoying. But they worked well together. They weren't the most fluid, in there, but they're the Bellas, I think that they worked pretty hard what they were doing. A lot of good power moves by both of them. This one could have gone either way. But that rack attack and then, Brie kicking out and then Nikki just beating the piss out of her and hitting her with another rack attack. I was just like, Jesus, that ending was whoo. So Nikki wins and Brie has to be her bitch for a little while. Up next, what was the next match that we got? Give me a second, let me look it up. Okay, up next we had the tag team champions Golden Stardust against the Usos. Golden Stardust retained in this one. I think it was a pretty good match. It was okay. It's their standard. We've seen these two teams go at it 97 times. If you've seen it 96 of them, you didn't miss the 97th one. Trust me, they're all the same. Pretty good finish though, where the Uso had Goldust up for the Samoan drop, and Cody just slides in there and kicks him in the thigh, and he makes him drop Goldust, and Goldust hits him with his finisher. His finisher is awesome. And that ended that one. Not really much to say about it because you've seen it a million times. Next, we had Cena versus Orton, and what I thought was a great match. And Randy Orton once again proving that when the stakes are high in this pay-per-view, Randy can put on a show with the best of them. Honestly, every time I see Randy work like this, you can't deny that he's one of the most polished workers in the world. The guy can work his ass off. Now, there was tons of times, through the years, everybody was always saying, this guy's a natural, this guy's a natural. This match displays just how natural and fluid Randy Orton is. He beat the piss out of Cena. Cena sold it like $1 million during the match. Let me not say like $1 million. He kind of sold it. But the RKOs that came out of nowhere, those was pretty good. He had one where he got out of an AA with an RKO. Another one where he took Cena's comeback with the Soldier Chargers and turned that into an RKO. Pretty good spots there. But LOL, Cena wins off the top buckle, AA through the table after Randy Orton dominated. What can you say? LOL, Cena wins. Got a full review on that match on the channel. Check it out. All right, next we have the United States Championship match with Sheamus and The Miz. Sheamus wins, he's still being protected out there in these streets. This whole match just came down to Miz down on the outside. He's just showing up everybody. Crowd was soaking it up. The crowd loves Miz Dow out there, and that's what they wanted to see. The funny spots came at the end of the match where, Miz already done gotten bro kicked, but Sandow's out there. He's selling it on the inside ring, so he's in the ring acting like he's knocked out. So Sheamus comes in and he's lifting up Miz's arm. Sandow lifts up his arm. Then he, shakes Miz around, and Sandow's acting like he's shaking around. Then he picks up the Miz, and Miz is on the lean, so now Sandal's lean. It was hilarious. Next, Rusev and Big Show. I think these two put on a good match as well. Big Show worked his ass off. Rusev is just a flat out beast. I don't know. I mean, I know why they're bringing out Mark Henry, but it's not necessary. They need to do that on their own time. Don't let that Mark Henry stuff that they're trying to build with him and Big Show interfere with Rusev's push. Rusev is looking like a monster, and he's being very well protected. Rusev wins with the accolades. Big Show didn't tap out, but the ref just called for it because Big Show just wasn't moving. Next, we had AJ Lee and Paige. They put on a decent match. Seen it a million times. Don't really care for it. And next, we had Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, or last but not least, I should say, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. These two had a pretty good match. A whole bunch of theatrics if you're into that. Not too much in-ring work as far as on the clock. I think they had about 10 minutes in-ring work on the clock. Everything else was just theatrics. But the end saw when Bray Wyatt returned and attacked Bray Wyatt. Now, I broke down this match in two different ways on my channel. I broke down the match, and I also broke down why I think that Bray Wyatt returned and is doing this. So you might want to check that out on the channel. I had a lot to say on that one. But this match was pretty good. It didn't end the way a lot of people thought it would end. But I'm perfectly fine with that because I personally think that they're going to extend this thing up until WrestleMania. And that's going to be the big payoff for Dean. That's not the payoff that a few people want, but that's the payoff that you're going to get. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. That's all I have for this one. I'm going to go on ahead and do this podcast with Smalls, Pulse, and Blackjack. I'm out. Adios. Peace.